Hey ladies, my name is Jenny Chaffetz and I am the host of Sidelines Sisters. Are you a busy mom, powerhouse professional, or high-achieving go-getter? This show is for no BS women who want to be inspired to get off the sidelines of their lives. Ever feel like you're playing small or safe or just on autopilot? My guests are relatable women who've gone on a journey, overcome challenges, and lived to share the lessons that we want to hear. These conversations will be funny, sad, scary, wise, encouraging, and most of all, real. So whether you're driving, doing chores, exercising, walking the dog, or just laying on the couch, settle in and enjoy. I want to invite you to take back your power, reignite your passions, and step off the sidelines. Let's go. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Sidelines Sisters podcast. My name is Jenny Chaffetz. I am your host, and I am so excited about all the changes in my world. I'm talking about my business, my podcast, and my general disposition in life. So in case you missed it, I'm a vegan. And while I don't say that to put myself in a box with a label, but there is something helpful about a box with a label, like when you go to buy shoes or a box of pasta. Those are cases where boxes with labels are helpful. So to be in the box labeled as a vegan is definitely a proclamation to the world. And it's one that I'm okay with in this situation because it's so important to me. Now, in case you haven't heard my story before, I was not always a vegan. I would venture to say that the majority of us walking around were not born into this way of being. I know one person who was actually born a vegan and raised by vegan parents and nurtured in that environment. But for the rest of us, we came to it because we were struck by something. Perhaps it was a personal or loved one's health crisis. Maybe you were exposed to some heartbreaking stories of animal agriculture. You saw a documentary illustrating the horrors of it. Or perhaps, like myself, it was a harsh realization that the trajectory of planet Earth is not good. So what started for me as an environmental issue, simply because I saw an innocent documentary about wildlife on planet Earth. And by the way, I never considered myself an environmentalist, ever. But what started off that way very quickly became an animal welfare issue to me, and much later became a health issue to me. And so the beauty of this lifestyle is that it honors and supports all of those things. I can actually take care of myself and hopefully prevent health hardships, and I can also avoid harming the animals and the environment. Doesn't that just sound amazing? So I say all this with so much joy inside me because I am completely rebranding to align with my values. And with that, I want to invite you to take me up on a very exciting offer that I'm presenting, which is a free introductory coaching session with me, your friendly neighborhood vegan lifestyle coach, to talk about this way of being. Because I'm going to guess that quite a lot of you have thought about veganism. You've heard people talk at the gym, you read an article online, you saw a social media post. Frankly, you're seeing a lot of packaging mentioning plant-based. So it's out there, you've considered it, but you have also come up with a lot of really good excuses to avoid it. It's true. Going vegan is a challenge in most cases. It's doing something different from the rest of your friends, neighbors, coworkers, family. A lot of the restaurants you normally visit don't cater to vegan values. Somehow people have led you to believe that it's more expensive, more prep work, more cooking, more doing. But look, it's simply not true. And that's why I want to get on a call with you to hear your concerns and let you know what's valid and what isn't. Because I'll be honest, the social stuff, that's valid. The teasing and tormenting from your loved ones, that's valid. But the cost, the prep, the complexity of shopping and cooking, no. Nope. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Not valid. So that's what I want to do as your coach. Simplify it, break it down to manageable steps, And I want to cheerlead for you. I want to teach you. I want to support your concerns because let me tell you, if you have a thought of going vegan because you want to have the healthiest body, the healthiest vessel imaginable, because you know too many people who have suffered with cancer, stroke, diabetes, skin issues, hair issues, sleep issues, I assure you that a plant-based lifestyle is the only way of eating that has been scientifically proven to increase longevity and vitality. Because who wants to live longer if it's crappier? What is the point? We want to live long and thrive. We want to be playing, having fun, doing the sports and activities that you enjoy doing now for years to come. You want to be able to travel, engage with people, do basic chores. I mean, nobody wants to do chores, but you want to be able to do them, right? Like carry a load of laundry and sweep, mow the grass. These are things you're able to do well into old age when you have a healthy body. So I can help you look and feel better than you ever have before. And the side benefits of eating plants for your body are that you save animals, millions of animals, from a life of confinement, torture, and slaughter. And you do better for the environment. And it is not a hippy-dippy, cavalier college student perspective to care about the environment. It's real. It's real. So please check the show notes and book a free coaching call with me. You have nothing to lose. Plus, when you book that free call, you will get a 3-day meal planner that includes 3 days of 3 meals each, plus snacks, plus helpful tips. So all that for just booking the free call. So in the coming weeks, as I wrap up this lovely fashion and image series, I will make my way to a huge milestone of 100 episodes. And starting with episode 101, you will see a change. The whole mood of this podcast will reflect the values that I hold so dear. And I hope you'll stay with me because my guests are still going to be phenomenal. And after 100 episodes, I might actually start to interview some brilliant, kind gentlemen. And I'm excited to branch out to that. But this show will still be about profound stories, relatable people, challenges, resilience, inner strength, wisdom, and evolution. Because like I said, most vegans came to this way by choice because we, including myself, evolved in some way. We saw the world differently and adjusted. And let me be clear, being vegan is a joyful, beautiful, compassionate way to live. In all my years of dieting and binge eating, I have never eaten so plentifully, so deliciously. I have never tasted food with such excitement and curiosity. Because when I was eating cookie dough, candy bars, and point-friendly microwavable dinners, it was very predictable. But now I sit down to a meal with childlike wonder. It's exciting to taste food that I know is nutrient dense and designed for vitality and longevity. So I thank you for tuning in all this time, and I really hope you will continue with me. Now let me get into today's episode with my friend Melanie Lippman. Melanie is a New York-based image consultant and personal branding expert. She works with women in leadership to stop the stress and overwhelm of getting dressed that holds women back from achieving next-level visibility. She defines their personal brand style in a way that makes clients instantly recognizable, memorable, and seen as a leader. Melanie feels that when you are confident about how you present yourself, you can show up and conquer anything the day brings you. Doesn't that sound amazing? I mean, come on, listeners. How many of you struggle with getting dressed? Like, try on a bunch of things, hate everything, feel ugly, feel fat, remember things you were told throughout life, like, oh no, you can't wear horizontal stripes, or no white after Labor Day. In fact, don't wear white at all because you look like crap. All these things. It's such a head game. And Melanie breaks it down for us because clothes don't have to be this angry force that we battle every day. So let's get into the conversation with Melanie Lippman. Welcome, Melanie Lippman, to the Sidelines Sisters podcast. It's so good to see your face.
I'm so happy to be here.
I feel like it's been forever since we were hanging out in Palm Beach together, but such is life.
Still watch your dancing video.
No. Melanie is referencing a karaoke party that we went to that really it does not need to be remembered by anyone. So let's just set that aside for right now. Good times. That's all. All right. I am thrilled to have you on this show because what woman doesn't like fashion or, have a little part of her intrigued by fashion? And many of us don't have any clue about it. Or, there's that line from When Harry Met Sally, when what's her name? Princess Leia says, everyone thinks they have a sense of humor and style, but not everyone does. And so I feel like that line, it's like a little like fork prong on my skin every time I think of it, because I'm like, am I that woman who has no style but thinks she does, or really wants it but doesn't know how to find it? So we're going to get into talking about style and the complexity of it, because you are a very fashionable woman. You are like the epitome of style to me. So let's begin. Let's start with, how did you get into fashion styling?
Well, it started very young. My
I mean,
family,
like playing with Barbies and fashion plates young?
even more so.
Okay.
My family had an accessory store when I was born, so I literally was the little girl in the playpen in this accessory store. So I and my mom sold like vintage clothes in the 80s. So like think like furs and heels. So I was like fully immersed from a very young age. So a lot of women say like I'm born without the fashion gene, or like that
Mhm.
skipped me. Like I am the fashion gene. So
Yeah.
I was very, very quickly surrounded by clothing, jewelry, all of that. And I played dress up from a very, very young age on myself. So like
Yeah.
literally there's this picture of me that I sometimes will show in master classes. And I think I'm wearing probably like 40 necklaces at once.
Nice. Nice. So you didn't hear that message from Coco Chanel yet? Like, take something off. Yeah.
No, that was not me whatsoever. So it's definitely something that is in my blood. That being said, it's something that I struggle with, or have struggled with my whole entire life. And being a coach, it's something that I continue to struggle with. So while even it could be something that is in our blood, it's not something that always comes naturally, because the way that we dress ourselves actually is an extension of our identity. And so we are sending a message to ourselves and to everyone else of how we see ourselves. So when there isn't clarity, or when we are not feeling good about ourselves, we can use clothes as armor. We can use clothes to hide. We can use clothes to pretend we're someone else. We can use clothes to prove something. So clothes aren't just a material object. There's a lot of things that are tied into clothing, which is why so many women struggle to get dressed.
Oof. Right there. Like, thank you for the mic drop as we start the conversation. Because right in this moment, I feel like women just got a weight lifted from their shoulders of, wait, it's not my fault, or there's not, like you said, a gene missing, or I didn't miss that class in elementary school that told me how to best fit my body, or I read the wrong magazine, or all the messages that we received. It's so interesting to think of clothes that way.
And I have to say, I get on the phone with highly intelligent women. Just this week, I had a conversation with a woman who started working with me. She's a doctor. And she was a physician in the military. And so she wore a uniform during the very beginning of her professional career. And she now is 55 years old, and she has kids. And she literally says to herself constantly, I am smart. Why can't I figure this out? What is wrong with me?
Yeah.
And so as women, we constantly are punishing ourselves for not getting it right. And here's the thing, those magazines that we like loved so much when we were younger, like YN and
Yep.
Cosmo, do you remember what the messages said about clothing? I'll tell you if you don't
I
remember.
mean, I can think of so many, like it depended on your shape, or don't do this, don't do that. It was all, yeah, body
It's all
focused.
how to look taller and thinner, how
Yeah.
to, my body is wrong, clothes are
Right.
supposed to fix them.
Yes.
And as
Yes.
you and I both
Clothes
know
fix
from
it.
coaches, we're not broken. We don't
Right.
need to be fixed,
Especially by clothes.
especially by
Yeah.
clothes. So that
Ah.
messaging right there is what is wrong with the fashion industry. And then layer on a really judgmental mom, aunt, all of that.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
who doesn't love their body and has, I mean, I grew up with tab and diet culture and going to Weight Watchers when you were 12,
Hmm.
like, because
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
normal and all of that.
You know what, Melanie? From my conversations with women, unfortunately, that is normal.
Mhm.
While it, I know as coaches we're not supposed to use the word should, but I will say right here and now that should not be normal.
But it's
But it
kind of
isn't.
like, hey, you're going to be on this roller coaster with me, as opposed to let me teach you how to love your body and how to like enjoy food and have, no, let's bring you to Jenny Craig when you're 11
Yep, yep.
and get
Here.
weighed every day sort of thing. And then let's put middle school and high school and all of that of like, you're not wearing the cool girl thing and shame and blame and all of that. So those are all of our foundational thoughts and feelings about clothes. So no wonder it's so hard to get dressed as a 50-year-old woman.
Oh, right? Yeah, I feel like you just summed up my entire life in that one statement. Beautiful. Thank you. I think we're done here. Just kidding. Uh, that's great that you had early influence in a positive way of having fun with clothes and accessories, but being a real person who lived in the real world with external influence, magazines, peers, television, billboards, all of it. How did you get through it? How did you balance or weave together the messages from your family or your mom about the lightness of fashion versus all that other stuff, the diet culture and magazine rules, things like that?
Um, it's still a work in progress because the mom was the one who also was showing me the lightness and the fun, but also brought the diet culture. So it's kind of,
Fair.
as all of our moms do, you're the most beautiful person in the world. Here, have a tab.
Yeah.
Um, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is, and this is what happens with so many women. So what I always will start a conversation with women about is like, tell me when getting dressed is fun. Like, what did you love wearing when no one gave a shit? Like, what did you wear when no one had an opinion and you didn't give a crap? And it
Who
normally,
can even remember?
right, you can't basically, but there could be like a little blip of like, I remember I like dresses, or I
Right, right,
remember
right,
I
right. Or there was that
Barbie, or I
favorite.
remember
Yeah.
there was a picture. Like, by the
Hmm.
way, I didn't remember that moment of wearing the heels. There's a picture of it. I
Right,
do
right.
remember like in Venezuela wearing like a strawberry bikini.
Oh,
Also,
that's,
probably because there's a big picture of it as well. But
yep,
like, when did you enjoy that? Because
yep,
probably at 10, it stopped. Because then you got boobs. Like,
yep.
and then like, then your body was wrong and we need to cover it and make it different. So I went through this whole entire, I would say, even till now, I still have moments I need to coach myself of using clothes in order to cover my body,
Hmm.
to use as camouflage, to hide my big boobs and my big butt. So when I entered the corporate world, I was like, oh, black blazer navy. This is what success looks like. Let's just use armor, corporate armor. Let's do this.
Hmm.
Let's prove. Oh, I need a Chanel bag. Oh, dad, what's that? Like, let's just buy all of these things because it was all doing through a sense of judgment and proving. I needed these things to belong. And let's like talk about it as well. In like Jewish communities, like there's a lot of material objects that people have to use as an entry point. Like
Yes.
if you like, I remember I remember my first Kate Spade bag. I remember my first Prada bag. So I was
Yep.
indoctrinated into this consumption. So
Yeah.
meaning that my material items meant more than I did actually.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter talks about how, I mean, she's 18 now, but when she was going to Israel a couple years ago on a group trip, we were buying all kinds of things for her to travel on an extended trip without parents. And so this was peak Lululemon belt bag moment.
Mhm.
So she had asked about getting a belt, whatever you wanted to call it, a crossbody or the fanny pack over the shoulder, as I like to view it. Uh, she wanted something so that when they were out and about, instead of carrying a big ugly backpack, something a little more appropriate. So we're not very brand conscious in our house. So she immediately said to me, like, just go on Amazon and get me, like, see what you can find. Is there like a Lululemon knockoff? And I found something. I showed her the pictures. It was very sensible, lots of pockets, right size, all that. So I get it for her. She loves it. Loves it. Like, wears it every. I just had to get her a new bag to say, like, in case you want to take a break from that one that has been like beaten to death, like literally tossed around a desert and all that. She said she was the only one on that trip that did not have the same Lululemon belt bag. And people commented to her that they liked hers. It was a little bit different, slightly different shape and size. And tried to talk to her about it, saying, did it bother you not having the same one? What was there an inferiority or a sense of lack because you were different? Luckily, she didn't give a shit and still doesn't need that type of validation. But it just struck me as every single girl on that trip had the exact same fucking bag. God forbid someone stepped out of that bowling lane to try something different.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I would have been the person crying to you saying, you need to, I don't care that I'm in another country. I don't care how much it costs. I need that bag because
Yeah.
I belong here if I don't have it.
Mm,
And like, that's what belonging is. It was like, we
yeah.
were taught that different is not good. And it's such like a tribal culture. And that is where so many of the things that kind of have shaped how I saw our clothing. And I even know, like, it comes up for me sometimes, it comes up for clients, is that like we get an invitation to something and then we're so like, what is everyone else going to wear? What's the dress code? Like, so like at the moment, my nephew's getting married in Cabo and it's in November. And I do have those moments of like, Melanie, you're not shopping for this. There is this like tug sometimes that we need to go and like buy thy thing in order for us
Yes.
to have the enjoyable time. Because if we're not wearing the right thing, we're going to feel ostracized and not belong, and we're going to have a horrible time, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there's this like pull of, again, identity, embodiment. Who am I when it comes to clothes as well? And if you don't have the quote unquote right car, right bag, right shoe,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're not one of us.
Sorry to interrupt this incredible interview, but I have to tell you guys about vegan lifestyle coaching. Veganism is my passion. Yes, you've heard me say that, but so is health and helping people feel their best. We have become so complacent and tolerant of feeling crappy that it's mind blowing. And we have also accepted that we are all going to grow old and get sick. That mentality has to stop because it's not true. It doesn't have to be the inevitable course. Whether you've strongly thought about going vegan or it's just kind of come up in passing, doesn't matter. I would love the opportunity to get on a call with you to hear what's stopping you from going all the way and see if we can strategize together, because this really is the healthiest, most joy-filled, abundant way of eating and living. So be sure to check the show notes and you'll see a link to book this free call. Share it with your friends. And now let's get back to the episode. It's interesting though, because I feel like it's a tug of war, really, because on one side, there is I need the right bag to fit in. And believe me, I felt more aligned with you than my daughter. When I was growing up, it was like, I need that Benetton rugby. However, I wanted the green, not the blue, because everyone had the blue. So
Mhm.
on the other side of that rope, you know, there's wanting desperately to fit in on one side, but on the other, there is that pull toward individuality or wanting to stand out and not just be part of the herd. So it's so tricky
Mhm.
for, we're going to limit this to girls and grown-up girls and women with wanting to fit in, wanting to stand out,
Mhm.
and using clothes as a
Yeah.
means to do that.
And the main thing that always comes from is, where is this coming from? So the number one thing that I always do with clients at the very beginning is I ask a bunch of questions in like an intake of, tell me about your childhood when it came to clothing. Tell me about your childhood when it came to getting dressed. Tell me about it when it came to shopping, because they'll quickly realize that a lot of the things that are coming up have been driving the car that they don't even realize. Whether it's, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so clothes weren't a priority, and I shop the sale rack, and therefore I still buy the sale rack, and I don't really
Yep.
like what I have because I don't see myself worthy as investing in. Like, there's
Yes.
something that's coming up that's driving the show that we don't even realize when it comes to it.
Yeah.
And from there, it's not like a place of like, oh, let's go to therapy for 45 years in order to like solve this, but it's just like a, huh, that to me
Yeah.
is my story that I keep reliving and reliving and reliving. How do I want to change? How do I want to be different? And then basing it in values. So it doesn't have to feel vain or like, this is what's cute or what's trendy. It's like, no. So something that's really important to me is, I like things that are high quality and I want them to last a long time. Therefore, me buying these random one-off pieces that are on sale that I don't really like actually isn't aligned with my values. So it's just kind of when we have that interplay, it makes it so clothing doesn't feel vain. It feels like it's helping you be more you.
Mm. Do you have anything from your past that, a rule or a an assignment that stuck with you of, don't wear that because you don't look good in it, or never choose that color, that style, that doesn't suit you? Do you have any of those
All
that?
have like a million of them, and I hear them from clients all the time. So like just yesterday, I was interviewed for a TV interview of how to dress for interviews on a TV interview.
Mm,
And I
mm,
was at home, it was like virtually, and I wore all white. In my head, I was already hearing, it wasn't necessarily me, but I already heard people being like, who are you to wear all fucking white? I'm not wearing all white. Da, 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 da. Like, white in our mind is like, you makes you look heavy. Like, or you can't wear white. Like, there's so many rules when it comes to like
yeah.
what print. Like, we have all of these rules. So like, I know whenever I go and wear white, I almost need to like coach myself of like, I wear white actually monochromatic, like all white, because what we notice
Mm,
is we notice the lighter area. So if you're wearing white jeans and a light black top, your legs will look bigger because light color recedes and you're drawing more attention there. So
mm,
there's like things like that. And then I also feel like there's a lot of a judgment I feel that I had growing up of like, who the hell does she think she is? So I know when a lot of the clothes that I like are very feminine and very different. So I do feel like there's kind of both things are going on in my head of like, who the fuck do you think you are? And
and where does that come from? Did some, like, have you figured that out? Did someone
yeah.
ever say to you, like, Melanie, tone it down, like it's not the Melanie show, or, you know, like, what does that?
So when I was younger, so literally it's funny because like I'm talking to my therapist about this tomorrow because it came up last week at the very end of the session.
Oh my God.
What was that? Oh crap.
Yep, we're out of time. Yep.
And you're like, we forget. Like, why don't can you cross that off your page? Like, white out, I have some for you. One of my core younger memories from when I was little is we were in Venezuela on vacation, and there was a guy playing the piano. And I remember it was just when I started taking dance lessons. So I was dancing all over the lobby because that's what one does when they are 6 and there is a piano player. The piano player stopped. Everyone clapped for them. and me, and I started curtsying, and I was told they were clapping for him, not for you.
Wow.
Mm,
That's like, bing.
mhm.
I love that you have that realization.
Oh, it took like a weird Tony Robbins like thing to get me there.
It's
Like I
so
forgot that, but
nuts.
that's my first memory in childhood. And
Mm,
so it's a constant fight in myself because I am, and like even like my therapist will say is like, you have so much light and you have so much joy and you have something, but there's judgment.
yeah,
Like you're carrying it, like it's on, like I was doing like some fascia work and the woman's like, you have like shit on your back. Like you literally, you
yeah.
have like a turtle shell with you. Like what is going on?
Mhm.
And there's so much of that, like like I still with that proving stuff.
Yeah.
And it happens. Like and we all have a story that's like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I haven't taken the time to try to go way back, but I it's funny that you brought up white because I think I might have told you this when we first met that I someone in my life who I won't villainize right now publicly told me never wear white. It's not your color. I was wearing, oh, I still remember it was the J. Crew white cable knit cotton sweater. You know, I think I had it in three colors, as did everybody else, because that was one of those lanes I was stuck in. But I had it in white, and the person said, "Don't ever wear white. It's not your color. It just doesn't suit you. It washes you out. It makes you look fat." Um, and then shortly after that time, so I was an adult at that point. I was getting married, and I sure as shit wasn't wearing white, Melanie. Like, not pure white. The person told me I looked terrible in white. So, bridal store, what else you got for me? Because someone said I can't wear white. So, find me cream, find me ivory, find me champagne, find me something that's not white. And it's like, God, one person had a
And we
lot of power.
and we make everything mean something, right?
Mm.
It's so interesting because you know what we don't make mean anything? A compliment.
I, yeah.
Like there's such a negativity bias that we all live by. Because we're afraid to get it wrong, we're afraid to wear egg on our face and all of that. And so many times, interestingly enough, like clients will come to me with a story very similar to yours, and they're literally driving that car, the story. And funny enough is that I once had a client and she was telling me how she can't, like we were talking about something, and one of the things that I have my clients do is just to put together some things that intrigue them, not necessarily that they're going to wear, but like let's start to kind of piece some things together. And I was noticing that there was a bunch of like florals in the backgrounds of things. Like I'm really good at what I do. Let me toot my own horn. So she wasn't picking floral clothes, but there were florals in the background of every single thing that she was picking. And I'm like, there's something to this floral. What is going on? And she's like, I can't wear florals. I'm like, tell me more. And she's like, well, my sister made fun of me once and I had a floral top and she said how girly it was and she hated it, like, and all of this stuff. But so it wasn't, I don't like floral. My sister didn't like floral on me.
Hmm.
Fast forward a few weeks because I put something in her brain and she went and she spoke to her sister about it. Her sister wanted her shirt.
Oh, so all
People will
these
do
years.
anything.
Yeah.
After all of these years, this woman is like secretly pinning florals in the ground of things she likes, afraid to wear a floral, afraid to try a floral on. And because of something that someone made mean something that meant crap, number one, or number two, when someone says something to us, it means nothing about us and it's everything about them.
Yeah.
So like she's concerned about wearing white, not you. And by the
Right.
way, white was so much better on using cream. Sorry. Like you're a winter, you can wear white.
I did love my wedding dress, I will say, but who knows? I didn't even try white, but it's fine. It's just, it's so interesting that it took me until a few years ago to be able to say, oh, I think I'm going to buy a white t-shirt or a white puffy coat or something. Like, do I get to wear white now? Can I make that choice for myself?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So, how do you help people get over it? How do what do you do?
A lobotomy. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Who do you recommend?
So I was what you would think of like as a quote unquote personal stylist for a really long time. So I would do like what you would think of, I went to stylist school. I went to FIT, which is where I actually got my bachelor and associate's degree, and got a degree in image consultation, color consultation, and the services that I would provide were more of shop your closet. We'll do a closet edit, what's shopping for you, outfit creation. And what would end up happening is I do all this work with all of these women. And this is the same thing. If you go and hire a personal shopper or a personal stylist, they're going to do what I did before. So what ends up happening is I would have a few conversations with these women, and I would make a lot of assumptions, as one does, besides the fact of like, you're going to tell me you're a lawyer, and I'm like, oh, you need a bunch of black blazers. Cool. But also like, I'm going to be like, well, I know more than you. So therefore you would look better in this and this and that and that. And so what ends up happening is I would recommend a bunch of stuff that they would be bought in because number one, they would be like, oh, she's the expert. And number two, they're like, that sounds good. I'm on board, sort of thing. Like they'd get excited about it. What would end up happening is like 3 weeks later, I'd get a phone call and be like, I'm going to speak on a panel. What should I wear? I'm like, what gives? We put together like 30 outfits. Like, did you gain 50? Like what happened?
Right. And you have a closet full of clothes now.
You have a closet full of clothes. You did before, but now you have a closet full of outfits. I get like a litany of, it's too edgy. I'm not ready yet. My husband's and so I realized a few things that were happening was number one, I would see themselves and they would paint themselves as this woman who already was showing up as her, that has already done the work. Like, oh, I'm getting new clothes. I might as well get clothes that I really, really like and enjoy. They just didn't catch up yet because the old stories are still running the show. They haven't been deleted from the brain just because you hung out with me for 3 hours and all of a sudden I gave you a false sense of confidence. And also they were my idea, not her idea. So during the pandemic, as we all did, is I found personal and professional development. And I became obsessed with coaching and had my own coaches, life coaches, started, the gateway drug is always Tony Robbins. And then we find like, well, he's really masculine. Let's find some women to listen to. And I found a neurocoaching certification, which not only was the shift of the identity, but also figuring out what are the habits that are holding you back and how to spot them and to rewire them. And so I was doing this for myself. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the missing link of what my clients actually need to make sure that we are dealing with the bad habits and the old stories that are part of that identity work. So there's that aspect of it. And then the other thing is I also like went to quote unquote coaching school where I learned how to walk alongside of someone and to help them and to help pull things out of them and show them their blind spots and give them ideas and show them patterns, but it was always their idea.
Right.
Where if you're hiring a personal stylist, it ain't your idea. It's
Right.
their idea. And then they're putting it on you. They are not skilled enough to number one, see where your blind spots are and show you where you may be playing small or hesitating because they're not trained to listen for, language patterns or, hey, I've heard the story 4 times from you. I'm going to call you on your shit. As opposed to be like, not believing like that story of like, oh, you don't want to wear black anymore. Okay, sure. As opposed to me where I'm like, you're saying one thing, but you're doing something different. What's gives and to go a little bit deeper. So it really is the culmination of the neuro coaching and also the coaching itself. So because the women that I work with are highly intelligent, unless it's their idea, they're not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think of in any aspect of our lives, we could listen to podcasts or watch videos or read books on home remodeling, decluttering, any hobby we could read about, and it sounds great. It worked for that many people, but if it doesn't jive with you, painting might be really therapeutic, but if you don't like painting, that's not the hobby for you.
Exactly. And then also we're in a time period where there's so much information out there. Like there's actually too much information. And we all love information, but what we actually need to do is start doing something with the
Yep. Yep.
information.
We all have to collect. I mean,
Right.
I
Like,
think about the number of saved things, saved videos, saved posts in my Facebook, the number of recipes I rip out of magazines. There's so much stuff that we collect and hoard.
mhm.
But like you said, we have to actually go through and decide, why did I pull that recipe for some elaborate dinner party on the back patio surrounded by lilac bushes? That's not my life.
Also, because like going back to the childhood thing is what was great when we did play dress up is we weren't afraid of making mistakes. So we tried ridiculous things.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest things that's missing right now from getting dressed is you keep wearing the same thing over and over again and buying the same thing over and over again. And you think you're going to get a different result. But what's the definition of insanity? You're
Yep.
not getting a different result. So what we need to do is be more in the experimentation phase. So that's why when I start working with clients, it's not like, oh, let's buy 75 different pieces of clothing. What are the 3 things that we can buy? And I need you to start wearing them. And I need you to tell me how you're feeling in them.
So for people listening who are, heart racing, brain is dialing like crazy as they're thinking, this is me. Yep, I've got all my stories, and they're starting to actually remember moments and phrases that they've carried with them forever, like my "don't wear white, it's not your color." What can you say to them to prevent them from going into their closet with a box of hefty garbage bags and discarding everything?
Don't do it. Um,
Because I feel like
right. That's what you
I
want
mean,
to do.
and I minimized and decluttered a few years ago, so I don't even have the wardrobe that I once had. But I'm already thinking, like you said, I bought that same tank top because I thought it was a good shape. I thought it was a good style, and I bought it in black, white, and gray as a layering piece with those 3 cardigans. But one, I don't even typically wear any of it. Two, is it even my style? Do I look good in it? Do I like those things? So even though I don't have as big of a wardrobe as a lot of women, I'm tempted to now go in and ransack everything.
Mhm. So the first thing that we need to do is actually figure out what your style is and what flatters you and what looks good on you. Otherwise, you're just doing a big destruction mess without any purpose. So
Hmm.
where I help clients is creating your own style brand. So you know exactly what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what flatters you, what colors you're wearing. It's creating a strategy. So once you have like this blueprint, because what's happening right now is you're getting in the car and you don't have a destination. You're just literally, that's how you're editing your closet. That's how you're putting outfits together. That's how you're shopping for things. You're literally just trying something, hoping something that's going to work. We need to
Hmm.
figure out what actually makes you feel confident in your clothes and what are the tangible things associated with it. So you have your blueprint. Once you have your blueprint, then you take that into your closet and be like, oh, V-neck size so good on me, I should get rid of that. So you have a fact of why something
Hmm.
is working and not working. And then from there, you'll know what are the things that are missing in my closet. Because again, we're creatures of habit. You either buy something that's super interesting and you wear it with a pair of black pants and black jeans and call that an outfit, or you buy a bunch of boring stuff and then you say my closet's uninteresting. So we always do the same thing. So we need to figure out where are you getting stuck and what are the things that are going to actually elevate what you're doing, as opposed to just being redundant and buying the same thing. So without the blueprint, you're literally just wasting a ton of money, or could be throwing away things that are actually good. You just don't have the piece to be pulling it together. So
Hmm.
blueprint is definitely the thing that is needed. And if there's someone that's listening to this and they're like, okay, I understand that. What's my first step? I do have a $33. It's called Outfits on Autopilot. And what it is, it's the 5 key things that I teach women how to create outfits using the clothes in their closet. But with that, besides the let's have the outfits because we want getting dressed to be easy, with them, I'm also teaching a mindset shift of what is the thing that's getting in the way for doing that. Whether it's about I'm afraid to wear color, or whether it's like that's not going to fit my body type. There's that inner dialogue. We're just identifying it so you can start playing in your closet and wearing clothes you love And then in that, I'm also giving you one micro step.
Mm.
Because what ends up happening is you go in your closet and you try on 45 things and you hate them all and you wore what you wore last week, when actually the first outfit you put on wasn't so bad. If you knew how to tweak it correctly, you would have been fine with the first outfit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry for the interruption, but I have to tell you once again how excited I am to now be offering vegan lifestyle coaching. Now, I know the word vegan can be triggering, so just hear me out. Do you want to get healthier? Do you want to feel better? Are you maybe dealing with some health stuff, body stuff that just isn't ideal? We all are, aren't we? So what if I could offer you a way to improve your body? The bloating, the inflammation, brain fog, aches and pains, digestive issues, poor sleep, extra weight, mood, and energy. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, I thought so. Now head to gentlecoaching.com/veganism and let's get started. You want to feel better and I want to help you get there. Now let's get back to the show. Now, without making this a counseling session, what can you say to help women who have this horrible story running through their brain of I'm just too fat to wear bold prints, or I can't wear jeans?
Yeah. Number one, it's really helpful to figure out where that came from, because you didn't put that in your head. Someone else did, or an experience or something happened. Normally, if you are finding that you maybe don't find clothes that fit or flatter you, you're probably focusing on the wrong thing, because we are at a time now where there is an excessive amount of clothes and shapes, sizes. I work with women that are 4'10" to 7 feet tall. I work with women that are 00 to a size 24. There is clothes for everyone right now. You're just probably looking in the wrong place. So what we all need is evidence. So number one, it's like, where is this coming from? Because it's not something you came up with on your own. And then be like, what do I actually really do think? Or what do I actually really do want? Because if you don't want to wear a bold print and that's your choice, cool, no one's making you. But if you are excited about print and you are having a story of I can't wear bold prints, why don't we find a way for you to tiptoe into prints if that's something that you're excited about? Or if you're excited about incorporating color, or if maybe you're like, you know what, I do want to try white. I'm not saying go buy white jeans tomorrow. That's not going to feel good. That's not safe. But like maybe there is like a pearl necklace that you could start incorporating. Like, what's the baby step that you could start? Because again, it needs to feel safe. And we need the evidence that we didn't die. We all know no one died from getting dressed. But like, it needs to be one thing that's exciting you, as was, I need to go shopping for a whole new wardrobe. Well, that's exciting or fun. It's like, what's the most exciting thing that you can do to get you into momentum in that direction that you want to take?
How do you, as someone who, eats, sleeps, and breathes fashion, temper the assuming that you have the desire to purchase, accumulate, or just incorporate the constantly changing trends? How do you, Melanie, temper that with the reality of maybe not having an unlimited budget or closet space?
So the good thing is I went to fashion school. So I was taught all of the psychological things that are used against women to try to get them to buy more stuff. There's no such thing as a trend. It's not fairy tale, fairy dust. Let's get women to buy more crap.
Yes. Okay.
Like, sure. Yes, butter yellow is really freaking big right now. And if I see one more butter yellow post, I'm going to vomit because it doesn't look good on like 90% of the people. Sort of thing. But like, it is a buying tactic is what a trend is. It is a lead for a woman to feel smaller, or that she needs consumption in order to fit in, as opposed to a woman finding the most powerful thing and the most settling and grounding thing a woman can do is figure out what she actually likes, as opposed to relying on someone else to tell her what she likes. Because that's all a trend is. I'm going to tell you what to buy tomorrow, is what a trend is.
It's so funny. It's so funny because they're so fleeting. Like I needed to get my daughter a dress for graduation, and everywhere I looked, everything looked the same. And I'm like, make it stop. Make it so just show me a sensible, and I don't want to say traditional, but maybe a lasting style of white dress. And it was just ridiculous. So I ended up buying her something that I'm sure she'll be sick of in 6 months, if
Hmm.
not already. But it was just so hard to find and so hard to shift her thinking out of, but that's not what's at Hollister right now, or that's not what they're showing at Aerie. So I can't, is that style? I mean, again, like I said, she's not as obsessed as most of the girls her age. So she ended up getting something that was a little different, but it still was, when I showed her something that was really, what is even the word for basic, sensible, classic. That's what
Hmm.
I wanted. I showed her like a classic, white sheath dress, and it was like, oh God, no. And her answer is always, don't pick out something you would wear. Pick out
Mhm.
something you wouldn't wear if it's for me. Yeah. Then we know I might like it. Because if you like it, I won't. That's shirts, whatever, like any kind of ruffles or anything. No, mom, that's what you would wear, not
Mhm.
me. So yeah.
Yeah. It's sad because also the other thing is that I haven't looked at the study recently, but I'm sure it's been more. The fashion industry is like $1 trillion a year industry.
Yeah.
And it's not teaching women how to feel confident in their clothes. It's constantly selling them stuff. And even like I speak to 55-year-old women now, and they're like, well, I'm on Like to Know It, and I'm on this, and I'm looking at an influencer, and and it's because of like we've all kind of lost our sense of self. So we're wanting someone else to tell us what to wear. And while I say like it's great to look at other people are doing for inspiration, to be, ooh, I could wear those two colors together, but none of these people look like us.
Right.
Because what ends up happening is you go and buying this whole woman's outfit, like this is what I'm gonna wear on Saturday night. You get it home, you try it on, it doesn't fit you, and you make you be wrong. What's
Yes.
wrong with me? It doesn't look good on me. It looks so good on her. No, she's 7 feet tall and a size 0. It's not going to look good on you. And let me put this wrench in it too. When I was in college, I interned at Marie Claire and went on photo shoots. Do you know how many paper clips and pins were used on those models? The clothes didn't even fit them.
Yeah.
So you're making it be like the clothes don't fit me. They don't even fit a model.
Right. Binder clips. Yep. I love it. Yeah, it's so complex, the messages that we get, and then all of the swirling trash in our heads, and how we blend it all together into a shit smoothie, and then go into a department store and think we're gonna find the perfect outfit.
No, when we basically hate everything because we were going in there being like, I don't want to do this. You're not setting yourself up for success going into that situation.
Do you have any staples, or there's a lot of stylists out there who say everyone should have an A, B, and a C?
Mhm.
Are there items that you think every woman should have in her closet, or is that also a bunch of
I think it's a
BS?
bunch of hot air.
Okay.
Because I find like those lists are the items that when I would go and do in-person closet edits, but even now when I help women virtually, the pieces that we edit out of their closet are something that someone told them that they needed to have, like a trench
Yeah.
coat or a button down or this or
Yep.
that. Like what's great to have? Something that you actually love wearing to go out to dinner on Friday night. Like
Yeah.
that's what every woman
What a
should,
novel concept.
right? Like stop using someone else's again list of things that they're trying to sell you and actually like lean into like what is my lifestyle? Because like for me, I can't have enough blazers and graphic t-shirts, but like half my clients like would never like hate wearing blazers even. And
Hmm.
that's where it's really important for us to find our own self and what our wardrobe should be based on our lifestyle, our choices, our aesthetic, as opposed to taking what someone else is doing and trying to make it work for us.
Oh, God. It's like relearning the English language right now. I mean, it's
Here's the interesting thing, it's actually not that complicated. the fashion industry is trying to make it feel complicated, because what it is, there's all of this information for an Apple body type, at this body type, at this personal color. You don't need to know what everyone else is doing. You just need to know what works for you. It's funny. So like during my programs, people will send me like their measurements, and I give them like their body type information of like how to flatter their figure. And some of my perfectionist overachievers like want to see the other people's information. And I'm like, no, because this isn't your job to go and study what everyone else is doing. This is what works for you. Let's talk about, maybe you don't like a neckline and I could help you find a different solution, but stop like going all over the place. Really sit with like, what do I want to wear? What looks good on me? And by the way, the same woman, I tell her to put outfits on and she won't put them on. Like, go put clothes on and see what goes on with your body with the clothes. And notice what happens when you tuck your shirt in, what happens when you pull your sleeve up. Because what I love about clothes that is misconstrued all the time, clothes get to create optical illusions. You just need to know the optical illusions that work for you so you can feel in control, as opposed to this is making me look like crap. There's a reason why it makes you look like crap. Learn what the reason is.
What's the most common? What's the most common tweak that you make?
Tuck your shirt in. Women hate when I say that. Like literally, my clients come to me and I'm not tucking my shirt in. I don't care what you tell me, I'm not tucking my shirt in. Like whatever. I get it. Like that is usually a part where women lose and gain weight and they're not in love with it. I am not saying go and be Steve Urkel and buy a belt and wear it in. However, when you tuck your shirt in, you're raising the eye level of where something stops and starts, and all of a sudden your legs are longer. By the way, I have a video in one of my program, 15 ways to tuck your shirt in. You don't all have to do this. It's just, how do we make it so you are creating a defined waistline? I don't need you to show your defined waistline. I need you to use your shirt to help define your waist. Again, because we get to control where people's eyes look. And what ends up happening is when your shirt is out, it's actually hitting you in your thigh area, which you hate, and cutting yourself in half and making you look frumpy.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's normally like the thing that we're so like against. Like so many, I have like case studies with clients, and they're like, and then I took my shirt in and Melanie was right. But by the way, you need me holding your hand through this process. You're not going to just wake up tomorrow and make, well, I'll tuck my shirt in like the girl on the podcast said. You need to do it in a way that feels good and with the right type of pant and the right shirt and all of that stuff. It's not as simple as like, let's go take my moo-moo and tuck it in and we'll have a great day.
It does make me want to go get rid of everything in my closet. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to lie. I do feel like I need a do-over on dressing myself.
But all I would say is if something makes you feel like shit, it should leave your closet.
Okay.
That I will say.
All right. That's really good. All right. So before I say goodbye to you, do you have any final words of wisdom that you haven't yet shared for the person who is overwhelmed with their clothes or constantly comparing themselves to other people or just not even that focused on fashion?
So the one thing that everyone's going to hate me for, because I definitely deal with a lot of what I wear shouldn't matter, and I have depth and I'm an interesting person and I've experienced and accomplished so much.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're judging people by what they're wearing and how they're showing up, whether it's what clothes they're putting on or just if their hair is brushed or something like that. So what makes you think that people aren't judging you? And I'm not saying we should ever be doing anything from a place of I'm going to be judged. However, we should sit in the driver's seat of how we're being perceived, because whether it's making a friend on a playground or making a friend at 60 years old or going for a job interview, people are forming opinions. And there's just a study by Princeton, because of these lovely cell phone things and all of our social media. When I went to quote unquote fashion school, it was 7 seconds to first opinion, 1/10 of a second. We are now forming an opinion about someone because that's how fast it works on the scroll. So within 1/10 of a second, judgment is happening. It's before you open your mouth. It's before they know what you went to school. It's before they know your name. They're already like either in it or checked out. So why not like just make yourself a little bit more friendly, presentable, sexy, or whatever it is, by just understanding the messages your clothing is sending. And number two, if you are changing more than once before you leave your house, this is taking up mental energy. I'm sorry, it is. Because not only are you changing multiple times and you're going to war with your closet before you leave your house, you're also regretting what you wore when you got into things. You're looking at everyone else's outfit and you're saying, maybe I shouldn't have wore that. It is taking up mental energy, and it doesn't have to. And it doesn't have to cost $1 billion. It's literally making the most of what you already have.
That was so good. I love that. And also frightening about the first impression. I said something to my daughter the other day about a first impression, and I can't even believe that I need to retract and change the amount of seconds on that and say, basically, just don't come out of your bedroom if you're not looking spectacular, because you will be judged for those sweatpants. You will be judged for those fluffy socks. You will be judged for everything. And that's terrifying.
It's terrifying, but here's the other thing is that, like, why not do the work and make it easier? Because when you're not doing the work, you're actually ends up doing a lot more work. And yeah, sure, there are times like, do I, go sometimes to the hotel lobby with like add a bra on and all of that stuff, and I'm perfectly confident. But I've also done the work to be like, I'm sorry, I'm wearing my lit pajamas and no bra on, and I'm fine you seeing me the way that I am, as opposed to, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to ever see these people ever again because of the way that I showed up. So it's also, when you do this work, you're not only doing the sending the right message, you're also doing the inner healing of kind of not giving a shit. If someone likes your outfit or doesn't like your outfit, you're wearing what works for you.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot of relearning. I mean, the lack of confidence and the rules, the confinement that we've carried for many years is definitely hard to get out of. But I think most people want to feel more liberated when they get dressed. So I hope this conversation helps them. So please tell everybody where they can find you and get more of this brilliant advice.
Absolutely. So I'm at Melanie Lippman on Instagram, on TikTok. And also, Jenny, I'll send you over that link for the effortless outfits. I mean, for $33. So just having the wherewithal of what to do in your closet, I think it's a pretty great investment, if I do say myself. So that also would be a great first step if you're just kind of like, okay, I'm intrigued. Like, where do I get started? It's the perfect place to get started.
That's awesome. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite you to raise your glass, and we will say cheers to, if something makes you feel like shit, don't wear it, get rid of it. Cheers to that. Thank you so much, Melanie. I'm so grateful for your time, and I think we all deserve to pivot from everything that we've ever read in a sassy young miss in style 17 magazine and just walk with our head held high and form our own opinions of ourselves.
I love that. Yes. Thank you for having me.
Wasn't that so interesting? Doesn't it make you now think about how you get dressed, the things that you say to yourself, the clothes that you continue to purchase over and over again and maybe throw out over and over again? It's also interesting. So let's get into Melanie's notes from the sidelines. Number 1, the way we dress ourselves is an extension of our identity. We send a message out to the world about how we see ourselves. Number 2, when we're not feeling good about ourselves, we can use clothes as armor to hide, to pretend we're someone else, to prove something. It's like telling ourselves subconsciously, my body is wrong and the clothes are going to fix me. Number 3, we were taught different isn't good, that belonging means having the same things. So a lot of issues that grown women have with clothes stem from childhood. Think about that. Number 4, when you determine your values, clothing isn't about being vain, it's helping you be more you. And so I'll use myself as an example. Now that I'm really stepping into my vegan identity, my vegan values, it's important to me to find clothes, and this is going to be a work in progress, this is not an overnight fix, but it's important to me to find things that obviously are not made with animal products in any way, but also that hopefully are made in factories with fair trade practices and focusing on sustainability. And number 5, this one hit me hard. There's no such thing as a trend. It's just a buying tactic, or rather, a selling tactic. And it's so easy to fall into that trap. So I hope you found this conversation valuable. Check out Melanie's social media, her website, her offers. And as I just alluded to again, my vegan values. I am so excited about this rebrand and overall transformation I'm experiencing, and you will see it here too. So please share this podcast with people you know, people you don't know. Go ahead and give it a 5-star rating and review wherever you listen. And stay tuned for next week, where you will hear my conversation with someone I have admired for decades. Yes, I said decades. If you're like me and you remember the Victoria's Secret catalog from the 80s and 90s, the ones that used to sell actual clothes as well as lingerie, then you might see a familiar face next week. I had the privilege of sitting down with the gorgeous, timeless, and fantastically interesting Frederique van der Waal. So I'll see you right back here next week for that conversation. Cheers to you.